Hare Krishna, Gauranga. Welcome to another Casey on the Go with myself, JD. I just, of course, I had said in the last video that I was going to speak about something along the lines of happiness and satisfaction, but just there, I had a bit of realization, which is so exciting that I had to just completely change any kind of direction that was going to come out from previous. Um, so I was just finishing my very late dinner. I had a few things to do, which kind of took me away from the standard nighttime kids routine and so on and so forth. So I came back a bit late from the city centre, and the kids were already up in bed, so that part had already been solved. So I was eating my dinner, and I was just watching a few things, watching a couple of bits and bobs from lectures and different things, and I'm going to put my hand up. I'm not a pure transcendentalist or this thing. So I had a little space out and I was looking at a couple of old movie clips from my young generation from the 90s era. And so there was one movie that I was looking at, just a few clips, and I was marveling at the acting skill of this very famous, very well recognized actor. But then, although of course I was marveling at that, this material energy of this person, I was thinking though, yeah, but what is it that we're actually attracted to? We're attracted to Krishna, because Krishna is the all attractive, which means even his material energy is all attractive. His spiritual energy, of course, is even more attractive, but even this material energy is very alluring and very attractive. Why? Because it comes from the topmost and supreme attractive, which is Krishna. So these personalities, we look up to them because we recognize that they have been given more ability than we have. And that ability that we're hankering for is essentially just more connection to Krishna. Because the more that we have these things, the more then that we can actually, we're coming into touch with Krishna's energy. Because every day the Supreme Person of Godhead is right in front of us, in his material energy. And if we have that fortune and we have that lifestyle, then the spiritual, then he's there in front with us every day when we chant the holy name. He's there in front of us in the daily form. He's there when you take prasadam. He's there in the transcendental sound vibration if you hear kirtan or do kirtan. He's there in the form of the books when you're reading Shastra. And he's there in the forms of the devotees and the guru and so on and so forth. So many different things. Yeah. But he's also there in the material energy. Every time the wind blows, every time your body, adjusts itself and does its thing, it sends different instructions, constantly sending different instructions across the body to manipulate and move itself around. That's all Krishna. That's all happening by the will and the sustaining, creating, annihilating nature of the Lord. So what we're actually looking at and what we're actually being excited by, being inspired by, is essentially Krishna. And this is what can change round a so-called space out moment. Sometimes we have that term, oh, he's spacing out, you're looking at something non-Krishna conscious. But actually everything is Krishna conscious. Now, I'm not saying that let's use that as a way to watch movies or use that as a way to do non-direct Casey activities. But if you feel that you're enjoying something that's a non-directly Krishna conscious activity, like what we just mentioned above, chanting japa, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, distributing books, Harinam Sankirtan, temple service, backup pujari, or cleaning the temple, or giving the lecture, or whatever, doing one of these videos or something, preaching. Try to understand, though, that still we can actually keep connected to Krishna at all times, and that is what is wanted, that is what is spoken about in the Bhagavad Gita, that, the devotee at all times is thinking about Krishna, bowing down to Krishna, and seeing Krishna everywhere. Because he sees Krishna in every aspect, whether it's from the nature, or he sees it in the other living beings, or he sees it in himself. like that, you know. So these different things, Krishna, that devotee is able to see Krishna everywhere. So this, I found that very inspiring to think, because imagine that this person, he, you know, because we kind of, I think this is why people glorify these actors so highly, because they think, oh my God, you know, look what he's achieved. He went to an acting school, and it must be that he just got that acting school, that really good school at the right time, and he met the right people at the right time, and you know, he got those movies, and he did really well, and for some reason he shined above the others, but no, not for some reason, because of Krishna. Because Krishna's material energy has, well, of course, Krishna has witnessed that living entity's activities over millions of years, and he's somehow qualified himself through different activities, pious or impious, to come to that platform of being in a very opulent lifestyle with a certain level of ability. But that ability is what we always usually say is God given, is Krishna given. Yeah. Krishna is the overseer and the permitter. Upadrasta Anumantacha Bharta Bhakta Maheshwaraha. Yeah. He's the person who's giving and taking away accordingly. Now, a lot of people, even in the material sense, you know, they do see that. A lot of people, you know, a lot of football players, a lot of athletes in this thing, they're very God conscious, and they always they put their praise and their thanks to God for their abilities, for their monies, for their situation, and so on. So we can also, of course, that is exactly what a devotee is supposed to do. Everything should be thank you, Krishna, even if it's some seeming punishment or some seeming shortfall. Okay, no problem. You know, thank you, my Lord. That's maybe protecting me from some other thing that could have been worse. It's maybe protecting me from something that's not as pleasant. This is bearable, you know. So okay, I'll accept it and I'll continue. Tatteno kampam susamikshimano bunjana evatmakritam vipakam hritvagva pabivaridanamaste jivita yamukti vidyasadaya. I'll continue on. Yeah. Whether I'm the most famous personality in the world, or whether I'm just Joe Schmo going along doing his thing, I'll continue to chant your name, spread your glories, and I'll continue to try and see your greatness everywhere. Because whether I see it or don't see it, it's there. That's the fun part, and that's the amazing part. Whether we don't spread Krishna consciousness, Krishna's there. And if we don't, you know, take, what do you say, take shelter and take the mercy and take the credit, then Krishna will find other ways. Yeah. We were out on our month, well, we've started here in our ISKCON in this area where I live. We started once a month Saturday night Harinam, and we're going to hopefully try to continue it. And you can see instant effect with Harinam, because with the holy name going out in a congregational way, there's no rules, there's no time, place, and circumstance. It's just freely going out to everyone, freely enhancing everyone's lives. And we saw people dancing, we saw people hugging devotees, we saw people thanking devotees, we saw people marveling that the devotees were out there clapping, chanting. Excuse me. So this is, what do you say, earth-shattering to the lower nature. Listen, in the presence of the pure holy name, nothing stands. All anartha, there's all difficulties, everything is cleared out. Now, it doesn't mean that that person goes away floating down the high street and just becomes a pure devotee, but what it means is that person is now on the pure devotional path. And that can be because of us. That can be to our eternal benefit, that we can be out there and we can take part. So yeah, so let's, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you're into or not into, understand that Krishna's in that, Krishna's present in it, material or spiritual. Naturally, again, highly we stress all direct spiritual activities. But if indirectly you can also see Krishna to get you to that platform, then by all means, start investigating the different places where Krishna's energy is. ISKCON Guru Vinda Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.